We're on our final segment. So, Archbishop, no, it's like this. Effeminacy, I don't know how that is rated when, the formator see this, or the psychologist, or you alone, when you get to meet some priests who are highly effeminate. This does not preclude you from becoming a priest, obviously, but does that send warning bells?
Before I answer that, let me tell you that I write small books, no?
Yes.
Booklets, so
Yes,
to speak.
yes.
And one of the small books that I wrote about was, I call it Sexual Identity Difficulty.
Yes.
I do not want to call them LGBT,
Okay.
etc., etc.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
my intention really of writing this is, how come
Yes.
this individual become effeminate,
Yes.
or this lady becomes masculine?
Yes.
And it took me the longest time to write the book because
Yes.
there are so many things I have to read which I did not know.
Uh-huh.
But after all is said and done, I came to the conclusion that there are 10 causes
Okay.
of this sexual identity difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
And a most common one
Mm-hmm.
is hormonal.
Hormonal.
Hormonal. What do I mean by hormonal? It is as simple as the hormonal intake of the mama when pregnant,
Uh-huh.
eating, for example, eggs laid by hens without males,
Okay.
or eating chickens
Uh-huh.
that all of a sudden they become big,
Okay.
much before their age to be that size.
Uh-huh.
So is it that with pigs too, no?
Yes.
It's the hormones. And not everybody reacts the same towards the same stimulus.
Yes, yes.
But some of them really, because, well, this is just one of the cause. No?
Yes, yes.
There is also the cause of when a young girl is very, very angry at the mother,
Yes.
she looks for another woman.
Yes.
When a young boy is very, very angry at the father,
Yeah.
he looks for another man.
Yes.
And this is the beginning of this homosexuality.
Yes.
Now, question: is it good for? By the way, let me be very clear. Homosexuality per se is not a sin, no?
Yes, yes, yes. Yes.
It is a predisposition.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Question: is it something that those aspiring for the priesthood should have
Yes.
or not have?
Yes.
The answer is very simple.
Uh-huh.
The answer is that they should be free from this hormonal difficulty,
Uh-huh.
because the burden becomes bigger as you grow older.
Okay.
So when one is young, perhaps it's okay.
Yes.
But as he grows older,
Uh-huh.
then the gender difficulty becomes more manifest,
More pronounced.
more pronounced, more manifest, and more difficult to
manage.
to manage and to drown, so to speak,
Yes,
no?
yes.
To get rid of.
Uh-huh.
And this is the difficulty when somebody becomes a priest with this liability.
Yes.
That is not his own making.
Yes, yes, yes.
So, the phenomena is that as the priest ages and marches along the way, he becomes more effeminate, and therefore harder for him to control his his
Predilections.
yes, his preferences,
Uh-huh.
sexual preferences, and and I know of some who really had to give in.
Yeah, and they target even the postulants,
Yes,
right within their own
yes. But not only that, you have the sacristans,
little children.
you have the choir
Yes.
members, you have
Yes.
the Legion of Mary, etc.,
Yes.
etc. And my heart goes to them that they did not want to be like that,
Yes,
you know.
yes, yes,
And yet, they were with this birth liability.
yes,
And the thing is that it becomes worse.
yes,
Unlike the masculine thing,
yes,
the older we become,
yes,
the lesser it is.
yes, yes, yes.
But for them, the older they become, the
It becomes
more,
worse.
yeah, become the more, the stronger it becomes.
Yes, yes.
And I understand them, although of course I cannot say that it's all right. No?
Yes, yes, yes,
It's morally wrong.
yes,
In fact, you spoke about children, no? In fact, Rome now has become very, very strict,
yes,
rigorous
yeah,
on priests molesting minors,
yes, of course.
such that in the Vatican there are different congregations that take care of different concerns
Yes,
in the
yes.
Universal Church.
Yes,
And one of the congregations is Congregation for the Clergy.
yes,
For us priests,
Yes.
when we fool around, when we commit mistakes,
Yes,
etc., 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 the congregation of the clergy are the ones who are watching you.
okay,
But as far as pedophilia is concerned,
Yes.
or homosexuality,
yes, yes,
it goes to another congregation. It's called Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith.
meaning,
Meaning it's a very, it's considered as a very serious, offense.
yes,
And therefore, it has its own particular congregation that is about the faith, you know.
and these people should be cloistered. Shouldn't the people who get into this kind of incidents, they should be cloistered already and separated from the laity?
There.
Does that happen?
No, there are two remedial actions. No? Mangyari kasi yung simbahan matanda na eh. So alam na niya ito na may mga paring mga banal. So there are congregation for the canonization of saints. Then may mga salbay, congregation for the clergy, congregation for the doctrine of... Ganito yan. May mga proseso. Pag isang pare nagkamali, miski na whether for homosexuality or heterosexuality or whatever, bisexuality, kung talagang may pagkakamaling serious, the church laws and the norms have procedures on how to handle them from beginning to end. And when somebody really fall into sin, homosexuality or heterosexuality or pedophilia, may dalawang proseso na that the priest concerned has a choice.
Okay.
Either he will seek for dispensation
Yes.
from clerical obligations
Uh-huh.
so that he'll be free,
Yes.
that ikaw na bahala.
Oh, bahala, oo.
Hindi ka, basta you do not exercise priestly ministry.
Yes, yes.
The priesthood is not removed,
Yes.
but
yes.
only the ministries are
Yes,
removed,
yes,
the
yes.
faculties.
Yes.
So dispensation from clerical, the clerical obligations.
Okay.
And the other is dismissal from the clerical state.
Okay.
And this, the dispensation is a favor because I cannot help it.
This is the way I am.
This is the way I am. I am girl-oriented. I am man-oriented, etc. So dispensation from clerical obligations. Or really,
What happens to him? He just stays he's cloistered, he stays in the seminary.
no, he is out.
He's already out.
He's out.
Totally
He's on
out.
his own.
Okay.
Siya na bahala sa sarili niya. Basta
Okay.
wala na siya sa line of active ministry.
Okay.
He's out of the ball game, so to speak.
Oh.
Yung isa naman, ganun na nga siya, ayaw pa.
Okay.
Maris. So he will be dismissed from the clerical state. Out you go.
Okay.
And also on your own. So, meron sagot ang simbahan kapag talagang may pagkakamali. May proseso. And it is a reality, a response to reality that we priests, we have these liabilities, we commit these mistakes, we fall into gross errancy, but the church has her own disciplinary measures for this.
There are some priests that are simply transferred to another bishop.
That is terrible.
It happens.
Yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
That because he is misbehaving here,
Ilipat sa kabila.
ilipat sa kabila.
Push the problem somewhere else.
Pagkatapos doon, may problema rin.
Ililipat na naman.
Ililipat na naman. And I have to say, and I hope my fellow bishops forgive me, one thing is to be kind, another is to be a fool.
Yes.
When a priest is like that, please, you work either for his dispensation or dismissal from the club. But do not pass him to another.
Don't pass the problem somewhere else.
Yes, because it ruins not only the figure, the image of priesthood, but also it scandalizes the laity.
Yes, yes.
And
And word gets around very fast.
yes, and precisely because we are supposed to be something else, and all of a sudden we are like everybody else. In the sense that we violate our commitments seriously, and which is not expected, no?
Short question. In the US, cases are filed.
Yes.
Sometimes they run after the church coffers
Yes.
to pay for damages.
Yes.
Does that happen here? And then how is that handled? Or they form a corporation?
Ganito. In the U.S., the priests are considered employees of the diocese.
Correct.
So when the employees commit the mistake, the
It's just on-
diocese pays for them.
Okay.
Here in the Philippines, no, you are not employee.
Okay.
The
So
priests are
who
not
pays for the damages?
anybody, but not the
diocese.
Not the diocese. But the diocese can help. No?
Yes.
Especially when, especially on the matter of a minor having been violated.
Yes, yes.
The dioceses can and should be prepared to offer psychological services. No.
Okay. Final question, Archbishop. Among the nuns, we don't hear of LGBT among nuns. Is it because they have a better system of choosing who marries the Lord, or we just haven't heard of it yet?
I'll be very frank and candid with you.
Oh,
Women are more, I think, are more docile.
okay.
They are more, they're easier to moderate.
Okay.
I'm not saying they're sinless,
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
but it is not as loud as the scandal when a priest does it, no?
Okay.
At saka,
But are you saying that it happens also among nuns?
maaari,
May
kaya-
mga tomboy?
kaya lang hindi ko alam. Honest, I'll be very frank with
Okay,
you.
okay.
No, Hans,
And this is not raised to the higher ups or whatever?
there is a congregation for
Okay.
religious and consecrated life. There is another office for that. But I only deal with the congregation for the clergy
Yes.
and the congregation for the doctrine of the
So
faith.
they're more docile?
They're more docile apparently, and they are less. How do you call that? Less stimulus,
Less hormones?
perhaps. I do not know about hormones.
Okay. Okay. So, marami po salamat, Archbishop.
Salamat din po.
It was a very enlightening discussion, and this brings to light, of course, for us, the laity, to be able to understand our priests and to be able to pray for them for more guidance and for God to eventually continuously bless them every day in their everyday life challenges and in their life. So, wala na po tayong panahon. Sana nakatulong po tayo sa pagpapaunawa tungkol po sa ating simbahan, sa ating Catholic Church. Ito po si Eric Espina, palagi nagsasabi, magmasid, makialam, higit sa lahat ay manindigan. Dahil wala pong magmamahal sa Pilipino kung hindi ang Pilipino. Daghang salamat, mayong gabi kaninyong tanan.